Hello guys, this is your friend Shinobi Nexus 2.0 and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Naruto abandoned his emotions and became Konoha's youngest Anbu assassin? Part 1. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. It was a beautiful afternoon back in the hidden village of Konoha. The sun was starting to disappear when a certain blonde chunin could be seen on the horizon carrying what appeared to be a bloodied black-haired human being, after one of the worst fights both had in years. Naruto and Sasuke were locked in a war-like battle and Naruto had to resort to AS-ranked ninjutsu, later labeled as Inkinjutsu by the Godime Hokage because of the danger towards the user's arm and almost killed Sasuke, if it wasn't for the curse seal inside his body. Kakashi and Sakura were walking near the gate, talking about Sakura's improve at medical jutsus, when they stared wide-eyed at the scene in front of them. Naruto appeared in front of the west gate, carrying none other than the Uchiha Sasuke, as they ran towards him with at first happy faces seeing their teammates coming back home. Sakura, Kakashi-sensei, I made it. I brought Sasuke back just like I promised I would, smiled Naruto, panting a little bit from almost chakra exhaustion. I can see that Naruto, you did it, but how did you manage to beat him? Asked Kakashi, though he was analyzing Sasuke's exterior for any visible wounds that would answer the question. He didn't need to use his Sharingan to notice some slash and deep cuts on Sasuke's body, showing the usage of Fuden-level chakra. Fuden Rasenshuriken, it was my only hope, Kakashi-sensei. Sasuke is a true genius. He managed to create a Raiden Jutsu where he channels the energy of a lightning falling from the sky and contains it with his bare hands. It was a matter of life and death. I had to use that technique, explained Naruto with vigor, since he knew it was a Kinjutsu he just used. He was able to contain the energy of a lightning on his hands, quite impressive. It seems similar to my Reikiri, but from Naruto described it's even stronger. Wondered Kakashi as he was trying to improve the Reikiri for quite a while now and it seemed that the Uchiha genius surpassed him with Raiden Jutsus. While Kakashi and Naruto were talking about the battle they had, Sakura was examining the young Uchiha and it looked like she was astonished at the damage of his internal organs and bones. It seemed like Sasuke was cut in multiple places and traces of Fuden chakra could be sensed near him as if one deadly technique did this to him. Sakura now remembered about a jutsu that Naruto was able to add Fuden chakra to the Rasengan making it an S-ranked ninjutsu, declared Kinjutsu by Tsunade because of the fact that damaged the opponent to a cellular level as well as almost dissipated Naruto's arm in the process if it weren't for the Kyuubi's power. Naruto, you baka, what did you do to him? His organs and bones are badly damaged. It's a miracle he's still alive. Tell me, what did you do to him? Demanded Sakura for Naruto to tell her, just so that she could deliver a chakra-infused punch at his face for dare hurting Sasuke-kun like that. I used the same technique that I used at the Akatsuki member Kakuzu, called Fuden Rasenshuriken, explained Naruto with strangely little concern towards the pink-haired teammate, since he no longer had anything to do with her, except for the fact that she was her teammate. Were you trying to kill him, Naruto? That technique delacerated Kakuzu from what I heard. Why would you resort to something like that unless you wanted to kill him? Right now she was screaming instead of just opening her mouth as well as channeling chakra to her fist so as to just wait for the answer and punch him square in the face. The way I see it, he's alive and the fact that he would have killed me with his Raiden technique had I not used mine, pretty much justifies my choice of action, said Naruto as he got up and now was in a relaxed position while his chakra was being refilled. However, Sakura was far from understanding her teammate's explanation, as her emotions were getting hard to control. The amount of damage to Sasuke's body just set her on edge and she just couldn't believe Naruto would do this much level of damage to their once teammate. You almost killed him with that technique, Naruto. It's a miracle that his body was able to withstand the damage, observed Sakura, while indirectly accusing Naruto on going overboard and try to kill Sasuke by using the disguise of trying to save him. However, Naruto took that hint and became immediately angry. He is alive, goddammit. What else do you want from me, Sakura? He used the 2-level curse seal, used a Raiden jutsu that if it hit me, I would be toasted, and now here you are taking his side like I was the bad guy of the whole situation. In case you don't know, Sasuke already tried to kill me once, this would be his second attempt, had I didn't use my technique, said Naruto, trying to reason with the damn banshee. You did try to kill him. Curse you, Naruto, I'll tell Tsunade-sama about this, you'll be out of shinobi duty. You used a kinjutsu on a fellow shinobi of the leaf. Go ahead, Sakura. Tell her what I did. Tell her that I brought back a nuke nin and not anyone, Konoha, precious Uchiha, and tell her that you threatened a leaf shinobi by channeling chakra through your fist in order to punch me. Sakura, Sasuke is no leaf shinobi, he made that clear when he left. But if you wanted your precious so much, do what you feel like. I'm heading home, I need a shower, said Naruto as he vanished, leaving Kakashi and Sakura carrying a hurt Sasuke towards the Hokage's office. By this time, every villager knew that the demon almost killed the last Uchiha and they were demanding his head on a platter. After a while, two Chunins told Sakura, Naruto and Kakashi that the Hokage needed to talk to them regarding Naruto's S-rank mission in order to capture Sasuke and if not possible, kill him. At Tsunade's office. In the office, there was Tsunade next to Sakura and Shizune asking Naruto to give them the mission report of his mission. Naruto described the mission, more specifically about how he and Sasuke were fighting equally, both using elemental ninjutsu to the extreme when Sasuke transformed to the cursed seal level 2 and started rushing at Naruto with intent to kill. After Naruto managed to kick Sasuke on the stomach, Sasuke went flying, with chakra channeled through his feet. Last, Naruto told that Sasuke used ultimate Raiden jutsu that focused on actual lightning and would throw at him. So, Naruto used his Fuden Rasenshuriken and won the battle, bringing him back. Tsunade-sama, Naruto should be punished because he tried to kill a fellow Konoha shinobi. He even used a kinjutsu against a fellow shinobi, there is no excuses for such an act, said Sakura, earning deadly stares from Naruto, who by now was cursing himself for all those times in the past when he thought he had a crush on her. Sakura, for all I know, Sasuke is a missing nin, because he ran off Konoha, leaving Naruto no penalty, regarding possible murder intent towards the Uchiha traitor. But Naruto, I see that your Rasenshuriken doesn't hurt your arm anymore. So, since you molded the technique with better control, I'll take the Rasenshuriken from the Kinjutsu scroll, smiled Tsunade, waving Sakura's attempts for her master to punish the blonde for what he did to her Sasuke-kun. Yes, since my chakra control is better, I could do the technique without damaging my arm. However, my arm, while isn't badly injured, it suffered little but present pain. I need to have better chakra control for the technique to work without any danger on my body. Tsunade-sama, began to talk Sakura, but was interrupted from Naruto, who decided that a little facts had to be said to the pink banshee. Sakura, at first I thought you were a nice person, but after this I realized that you're just a stupid fangirl that, even though Sasuke dumped you several times, you still protect him. I expected a lot better coming from you, but I guess I was wrong. Tsunade-sama, if you don't need anything, can I get some rest? I need a shower. You're dismissed, Naruto, good job, said Tsunade, smiling from the outside and wondering about the ba-chan that Naruto used to call her, which apparently got to her nerves, but now that he didn't say it, she felt like she wanted him to call him ba-chan, well, at least not call her Hokage-sama. When Naruto vanished from sight, Kakashi looked at Sakura with such pity and also shunshine to meet Naruto. With Naruto . Naruto was walking through the village thinking about the fight as well as the look of hatred that the villagers and, surprisingly, some shinobi who worshipped the Uchiha bloodline. Well, they already had that look towards him because of his burden, but such look was filled with hate now, apart from the apathy look from before, when people didn't even consider his existence as one of them. After some pace walking, Naruto's eyes caught a glimpse of sight which long ago managed to get to his heart like no one had done before. They were bright red eyes, which looked like two roses sparkling with beauty. The eyes belonged to none other than the Genjutsu mistress of Konoha, Yui Kurenai. For a minute there, Naruto just stared at her like he saw an angel in front of him. Such eyes managed to pierce through his soul and he instantly forgot every piece of negative emotions about Sasuke and Sakura's bickering for a moment. He wished he could look at them forever and just dies happily. Meanwhile, Kakashi had arrived alongside him and witnessed that Naruto was checking Kurenai with some intent look on his face. Why are you looking at her, Naruto? Ah, Kakashi-sensei, I didn't notice you there. Well, I was just remembering something from my training with Jiraiya-sensei, that's all. I see. Well, don't look too much at her, Asuma might be jealous. Why would he be jealous of this? Haven't you know? They are together, yeah, since you left to retrieve Sasuke. Asuma asked her out one time and she agreed to it. Personally, I don't see why she agreed to it, but what can I do anyway? Said Kakashi in order to study Naruto's behavior and run damage control if needed be. He knew that Naruto had a thing with the Genjutsu mistress one time, from what he heard from Jiraiya. Oh, okay, then. Well, Kakashi-sensei, I'm heading home, see ya. Said Naruto, trying to hide his emotions, upon seeing that the angel that he saw was with another guy, a Junin named Sarutobi Asuma. See ya Naruto, said Kakashi as he stared at Naruto's back from quite some time. He remembered Jiraiya telling him about Naruto's encounter with Kurenai. Kakashi felt pity on the boy. Kurenai was known as the Ice Queen of Konoha, for a good reason. At Naruto's apartment When Naruto arrived at his apartment, he immediately went to the bathroom and took a nice warm shower. As he was letting the hot water clean any battle signs on his body, he was thinking of what Kakashi told him about Kurenai and Asuma. Since no one was looking, he didn't need to hide his emotions anymore and just did what every man in his position did when was cheated. He cried, he sobbed, his angel wasn't his anymore. After shower, he went straight to bed, thinking about Kurenai's decision in being with another person. On the next day Naruto woke up and started making breakfast when suddenly he heard a knock on the door. When he opened the door, an Anbu was there with a note for him to attend at Tsunade's office right away. Naruto changed his clothes and quickly put his Chunin vest on. In this FIC, Naruto became Chunin at the age of 14, when he was at Kumo, training Fuden Jutsus. They held a little tournament and Naruto won, being nominated to Chunin by Kumo, who sent a letter to Tsunade, asking to promote Naruto as a Chunin. Tsunade, after receiving the letter from Kumo and picked Naruto's results at the last Chunin exam, and she noticed that Naruto managed to beat Hyuga Neji and prevented Shukaku from destroying Konoha, so she upgraded him to Chunin, sending a slug summon to find Naruto and give the news with his Chunin vest jumping through rooftops to arrive. At Tsunade's office, Naruto spotted Kakashi there as well and assumed that he was going to a mission with Kakashi-sensei. Naruto, enter. I have a matter of extreme importance that involved your last mission. You see, the council had the same thought as Sakura and they're accusing you of trying to kill the Uchiha bastard. Here is a petition to dismiss you from active shinobi duty from trying to harm a shinobi of the leaf. Figured. Just because the Uchihas were a respected clan, they have these privileges. So, what will be your decision, Tsunade-sama? Asked Naruto, not showing any signs of anger or any negative emotions, much to the dismay and surprise of the blonde Hokage, who was expecting a huge scream of anger coming out of Naruto, maybe even hearing some shouts along the way, but none came. In my opinion, Sasuke is considered a missing nin because of his treason to Konoha. Therefore, if any Anbu or a Konoha Junin were to encounter him, they would try and kill him on the spot. Since you are a Konoha shinobi, you were acting with all powers to do just that, so you are in nowhere guilty for your actions towards the Uchiha traitor. Leave it to me, Naruto, I'll handle the council. Tsunade-sama, I have a request to ask of you, asked Naruto, as he thought about it after getting out of the shower last night. He needed something to take him away from all the pain. First, his fight against Sasuke, then Sakura protecting the Uchiha over him. Lastly, but way more painful, was seeing Kurenai, the love of his life, with another man. He needed to get away and he knew what he had to do. What is it? Asked Tsunade, though she was suspicious of Naruto's body reactions, or rather lack of one. If possible, I would like to join as a member of the Anbu, said Naruto, earning looks from the Hokage and Kakashi. Now, both Kakashi and Tsunade were astonished, to say the least. They did not expect this coming from Naruto. The blonde was always the cheerful being with the happy smile on his face, but now what they saw was nothing but a fragment of that being. Once Tsunade asked of the reason why he wanted to be a part of Anbu, he simply stated that he needed to get away from all the pain he suffered yesterday and to forget a certain someone. Kakashi had a hint of who that person would be and wasn't surprised to see that his ex-student was suffering. Naruto, is that what you want? So I'll grant your wish. Just give me what mask would you be willing to wear to hide your identity? Black Wolf. Black Wolf. Why black? Except from you, Kakashi-sensei, Iruka-sensei, Jiraiya and Tsunade-sama, I'm all alone in this world. The black wolf is a sign of my personality. Wolves usually travel in packs, but there is always one of them that travels alone but is feared by most. That's what I want to be from now on, a lone wolf. Tsunade and Kakashi were studying some hint of emotions coming from Naruto and couldn't find any. Suddenly, both of them came to realize that after looking focused to his eyes, they could see the feral grin coming from inside him. Each of them shaked a little at the sight of those eyes. If one were to look deep into his eyes, one could see a mixture with deep blue and a feral yellow color that could show what a nightmare really meant. If Naruto were to use the Kyuubi's power, even Orochimaru would piss in his pants right now. Black Wolf it is, then. Please attend at Anbu headquarters for your clothes and your test. Test? Yeah, they will test you to see to what area you'll be directed to. You see, Anbu is divided in 5 areas: tracking, medical team, assassination, demolition and first response team. As the names of each of them suggests, I'm sure you know which is which. I would assume you would be a part of first response team, since you showed aspects of every kind of mission, but I can't assign Anbu teams, that's their competence. Arigato, Tsunade-sama, said Naruto as he left through the door, leaving a shocked Tsunade and a surprised Kakashi. Now, Naruto went to a training ground in order to train his other affinity, which appeared after he came back from killing Kakuzu. Suddenly, a brunette Kunoichi was passing by when her eyes noticed the blonde shinobi going away. Instantly, tears started to fall from her face. She was feeling guilty of the fact that she abandoned him, because of his age, but right now she was ashamed of what she did to Asuma and Naruto. After Naruto left to retrieve Sasuke, she started having second thoughts of staying with him since he was younger, so she agreed to date Asuma. But after some thought, she figured that the way Naruto was to her, she felt like he was the one for her and not Asuma. On the next day, Naruto awoke and went out of his bedroom to a little passageway that showed a great view of Konoha's neighborhood as he soft gust of wind passed through his face and literally blew all his worries of the world, even if was only for a second. His only duty today was to showing at Anbu headquarters for his test in the afternoon. Once he changed into his ninja clothes and his chunin vest, he went through the streets of Konoha for a little walk. At some time, he ran into Kakashi and they started talking about doing some training and about Naruto's test. "Ohayo, Naruto. How you are up to this morning? Ready for your test this afternoon?" said Kakashi, smiling towards his student who in just a few hours could be the youngest one of the rookie 9 to enter the Anbu Special Forces. And even though Kakashi had the mask, pride was literally visible on his features, as he saw Minato's face in Naruto. "Ah, Kakashi-sensei. I'm sure I was just thinking on heading towards the lake, I recently got a scroll on some Sweden jutsus and I would like to have a run on them, see how I do. Maybe even use them to impress the Anbu judges, said Naruto as held the scroll he was holding and showed to him. Very good. I got free time, why don't I come along and help you with your training? If I already seen such jutsus, I could see what you're doing wrong and correct them. Also, I would like to talk you about what it's like to be a member of Anbu, consider it my legacy to you. I was an Anbu captain after all. Great. Let's go then, said Naruto as him and Kakashi were tagging along towards the lake, in order to see what are those jutsus Naruto wanted to learn as well as practice them to use at the Anbu's test. So, tell me Naruto. How are you feeling today? Asked Kakashi, earning surprised looks from Naruto, since he didn't know that Kakashi knew about him and the Genjutsu mistress and wondered if his Sharingan was somehow reading his mind as they talked. What do you mean, Kakashi-sensei? I feel good. I'm about to become an Anbu, what's not to be feel good about, said Naruto almost mumbling the rest of the sentence, while looking down at the same time, thinking about the girl who was once his angel here on earth and now she was with another guy. I'm actually hurt that you would think less about my ability to understand emotions, Naruto. Tell me it is about the girl from yesterday, right? The one you were looking at. I could very well see your sadness when I told about her relation with Sarutobi Asuma. It's okay, you can tell me these things if you want to, asked Kakashi, before seeing Naruto's head lift and his eyes were looking directly at Kakashi's, much to his dismay, since he knew sadness when he looked at it and such look wasn't different. Well, I'm sure that Asuma can offer her more than I could, I mean he's her age and all that, how can I compete with someone as experienced as him? Asuma is a powerful Junin while I'm a Chunin wanting to get into Anbu. Between us, she chose him. After some talking about Naruto's feelings and some of Kakashi's experience back in Anbu, they trained the specified jutsus that were on the scroll Naruto picked up. Upon an hour, Naruto mastered the 2 Sweden jutsus on the scroll and just relaxed a little bit near the lake, lost in his thoughts. I thought she loved me, but I guess that's not good enough for her. She is a strong kunoichi, she needs an even stronger shinobi to protect her. Needing to change the subject, Naruto and Kakashi talked about Anbu and some tough missions that Kakashi had to endure while being an Anbu captain. You see, Naruto, at some time in your career, you'll face a lot of death situations in front of you and you know what usually happens to you, when you experience strong emotions. As an Anbu, you need to keep your emotions at bay. Anbu are the elite, Anbu are power, agility, stealth, experienced. But I guess you do just fine with your stamina, power and jutsu arsenal, I believe you'll do just fine. Don't need to worry about me losing to my emotions, Kakashi-sensei, as you may or may not see, I'm not that stupid kid who was always jumping around and saying those inspirational craps all the time. And if you are wondering if I am like this because of Kurenai, you're sadly mistaken. I dropped that mask a few months after leaving with Jiraiya-sama for training. Just how do you think I was able to beat those Kumo shinobis in the first place? Kakashi tried to look deep at his cerulean eyes in order to understand just who was the one talking to him and, by some point he concluded that he was the real Naruto, without his invisible mask of 100 happiness. It wasn't for the fact that he lost his stamina, because Naruto managed to learn 2 high-ranked Sweden jutsus, Sweden Daibafuku no Jutsu 1 and Sweden Suryuden no Jutsu 2 after extensive training time. He was just beginning to understand that even though hopes are what hold a man to purchase his dream, sometimes such man have to face the fact that only hope won't solve anything, sometimes such man have to come in terms with reality and remove some obstacles in his life. Kakashi couldn't say for sure that Naruto forgot about his dream to become Hokage, but he managed to see in Naruto's eyes, that if he wants to become the strongest in the village, he had to take 2 things into consideration: survive and surpass every ninja in the village. Not many ninjas have had the bless to get through these 2 things, and those that managed to do that, would gain the title of Hokage of Konoha 3. After some time, Naruto and Kakashi said their goodbyes. Naruto went to the Anbu headquarters, while Kakashi was heading for the dango shop to have some lunch. At the dango shop, once Kakashi entered the restaurant, his one eye caught a little glimpse of a red-eyed Kunoichi chatting with the snake mistress known as Mitarashi Anko. Both of them became really close friends together with Azuki Yugo, another member of Anbu's special forces. Yugo was junior Anbu when Kakashi was an Anbu captain. "Ohio, Kurenai-san, Anko-san," said Kakashi as he smiled in a friendly manner, holding his orange book in one hand and greeted the girls with the other, much to the dismay of Anko and Kurenai, since if they could wish for anything was to get rid of the goddamn book which managed to turn every man into a bloody pervert. "Ohio, Kakashi," said both of them in unison, but never taking their eyes of the book on Kakashi's hands. "So, Kakashi, what have you done today so far?" "Oh, not much. I just talked to a blonde friend of mine in the morning and gave him some pointers about Suiten jutsus," Kakashi said, leaning over to see any reaction out of Kurenai, with the word blonde being successful, and continued talking. "Anyway, I just came by to grab something to eat and then I'll be on my way." After Kakashi disappeared with his dango order, Kurenai and Anko returned with the talking. "So, Kurenai, does Kakashi knows any blonde ninja, because I certainly don't recall on any shinobi that had blonde hair. The last one was the Yondaime and he passed away like 15 years ago." "Beats me, Anko-chan," she lied, since she knew exactly who Kakashi's friend was, and sadness came apparent on her face which didn't get unnoticed by Anko. "Kurenai-chan, what's wrong? Is about Kakashi's blonde friend. Do you know who is this guy Kakashi's talking about?" asked Anko as Kurenai could just nod, showing Anko that she knew who he was and answered only his name and nothing more, leaving. "Uzumaki Naruto," said Kurenai, looking down just as thoughts rushed her head with images of the blonde smiling upon her, showing such deep blue eyes as well. "Uzumaki, oh I remember now, it's the burden for brat. I came to know that he had affinity with wind, but Suiten also. It's very rare for a shinobi to have two chakra affinities. I didn't know he was that strong, but why are you so down like this? Is it because of him? You tell me what he did and he's going to beg you for mercy after what I did to him," threatened Anko in Kurenai's defense, but little did she know that was quite the opposite. "Yes, I know that he is strong. No, he didn't do anything to me," said Kurenai, much to the dismay of Anko, who once again saw Kurenai's sad face and asked. "Then what happened to make you sad like this? What happened between you two?" asked Anko, now very eager to know, since she didn't know of any involvement between the two of them of any king, and quite frankly it was pissing her off to no end, since Kurenai wouldn't open her mouth about it. Kurenai just didn't understand at first. She was thinking on the blonde shinobi, that was once her blonde shinobi, but she dumped him to go out with Asuma and now she was having second thoughts. Anko looked at her friend, with a questionable gaze. What did Kurenai and Naruto had that made her feel that way, just by the mention of his name? "Kurenai, just why are you so sad about Uzumaki Naruto? Is it pity from what he carries inside of him?" "No, it's not that at all, Anko." "Ah, forget about it, I don't want to talk about it. So, how about you, Anko, interested in someone at the moment?" "Oh, no, my friend, you're not getting out of this so easily. I want to know what happened between you and Naruto to make you feel bad just by hearing his name." "Anko-chan, please let's change the subject, okay? I don't want to talk about this. Did he hurt you or anything?" "That seems very unlikely, because I've never seen anyone want to protect others, like him. I doubt that very much. It's quite the opposite, in fact." Kurenai sighed, she didn't want to discuss about it, but Anko wasn't easy to fool and she knew that she had to tell her the story. "Okay, Anko-chan, I'll tell you, but you have to promise me that you won't tell this to anyone, okay?" Okay, I promise, you're no fun, Kurenai-chan. "The thing is it was I who hurt him in the first place," Kurenai said, learning a surprised stare from his friend, 5, as Kurenai was telling her the story. At the Anbu headquarters, Just inside the Anbu headquarters, a blonde Chunin approached the reception counter and handed Tsunade-sama's permission note in order to be handed out to a certain Anbu that was recruiting shinobis today. Anbu-san, sir, there is a Chunin here, with a permission from the Hokage to take the test. Send him in, I was actually expecting him, said one Anbu member who seemed to be hidden in the shadows so as to show the new recruits what is like to be an Anbu. As you wish, Uzumaki-san, come here, will you take a seat over here? The receptionist pointed for him to take a seat in front of a certain Anbu character that was wearing the bear mask. So, Uzumaki Naruto, is it? It is. Why do you want to become a part of Anbu? To get stronger and to get lost in a way, Naruto answered cold and objectively, receiving a glare from the bear-masked Anbu. Get lost? What the? Care to explain, Chunin? Certainly. I came to know for a fact that Anbu are very strong shinobi, as well as the fact that no one, apart from Anbu and the Hokage, knows of an Anbu's life. What outside people just know, is that a certain masked Anbu is very strong. So, I want to become strong as well as hiding my presence. I see. Well, here in Anbu we have a training method that seeks efficiency, so if you're willing to join Anbu forces, be prepared to have an exhausted training, few hours of sleep and major trauma-like situations. I can assure you, Anbu-san, I've been through worse and survived, you don't scare me one bit. Confident, aren't you? Well, Tsunade-sama spoke highly of you, I can see that you have guts and from what you told me, you've seen death in front of you and surpass it, that's what Anbu need to survive. Now, here in Anbu, we ask our troops about what they want to specialize in and based upon their answers, we test them to see in what level are them in order to receive training. So tell me, Chunin, which element do you have affinity with and what would you like to be learning here? I have right now a strong affinity for Fuden chakra and a less strong for Suiden type chakra. My taijutsu is low-level Junin level and my genjutsu is average, I can only dispel them, but I can't properly use them. So, what I would like to learn is 3 things: Kenjutsu, Genjutsu and Raiden Jutsus. I see, well, you chose some good elemental ninjutsu right there, Uzumaki-san, and the areas you chose to improve are easy to teach, as well as easy to learn, depending of what you show me right now at least. Right now, what? You don't certainly think I would just give your Anbu clothes and the title without a little test, now would you? Please, show us a little more appreciation, we just like to play a little with the new recruits and if you manage to entertain me, I'll let you pass. But serve as a warning, I'm going full out and I expect you to do the same. One thing I saw in my life is that if I don't fight for real, my neck will be on the line, so do not worry about me holding back, because I'm sure won't hold back. I expect a good fight from you and after that, I expect to fight some worth adversaries along the way, said Naruto with enough confidence to make the now bare-masked Anbu smile behind his mask and showed Naruto the way to his test. As they approached a hidden training ground inside the Anbu headquarters, Naruto and Bear got ready to fight and engaged in taijutsu battle. Naruto, since was smaller than his opponent, wouldn't risk charging straight forward against what looks to be a giant wall in front of him. While Naruto and the Bear Anbu was fighting a little taijutsu match, some high-leveled Anbus were watching the entire thing behind a double-layered glass, along with the Godime. After a while, Naruto and the Bear Anbu were fighting only with punks and kicks, in order to see Naruto's movements as well as sense of battle. Naruto assumed a position and waited for the Anbu to charge, only to evade the Anbu's punch quickly using his arm in a way as to move the direction of the punch so as to get past him, protecting the entire body from being hit by Anbu's attacks, sending a fast low kick, making the Anbu almost drop to the ground, if it weren't from the man's agility. After that, Naruto came charging with a sequence of low and high punches being defended by the Anbu, while his legs were trying to reach Naruto's, but to no avail since Naruto were protecting those as well, earning some average grades from the Anbus watching the fight. Very good fighting, Uzumaki-san. A couple more experience is needed, but you've got some powerful attacks there, as well as defensive techniques. Now, for the ninjutsu part, let's fight only using jutsus, then. Okay, then. Begin, said the Anbu, making some hand seals, screaming Kaden Gokyaku no Jutsu 6 as he launched a huge fireball towards Naruto, who channeled chakra through his feet, jumping with great speed, as well as making his own set of hand seals. Fuden Daitapa no Jutsu 7. With that, Naruto sent a strong gust of wind towards the Anbu, who forced some chakra through his feet in order to hold his body to the floor as long as he could, in hope to avoid the jutsu. Sensing that the wind was strong enough to make him lose his grip, he lost the battle and was sent flying, before gaining balance and landing on his feet. Quickly getting up, the Anbu throw a couple of shurikens while doing hand seals, Cage Shuriken no Jutsu. As Naruto saw the two shurikens multiplicate to 20, he threw two kunais as well, doing some hand seals and screamed Cage Kunai no Jutsu, using as a diversion. While the kunais and shurikens were equally matched in number, a lot of weapons could be seen on the ground, but when the Anbu went to look for his opponent, he was long gone, hiding his chakra in order to wait for the right moment. Naruto, no, 5 Narutos rounded the Anbu as he made Cage Bunshin no Jutsu. Meanwhile, the bear Anbu was cursing behind his mask. Damn it, this Chunin cornered me. Now there is 5 of them and either one of them can use jutsus, I have to be careful. Naruto practiced this strategy once with Jiraiya. All he need to do was make each clone appear to perform a technique at the same time, in order to fool the opponent, since he wouldn't know at the time which technique would be coming at him. Not even an Uchiha could manage to escape, since he had to focus on each enemy at a time, leaving him no time to know which one would attack. In the meantime, Tsunade-sama was having some deja vu, remembering her once teammate Jiraiya do the exact same thing to a IWA Nukenin they encountered once. Well, it seems like Naruto learned that from our perverted Sannin after all, Tsunade said, much to the dismay of those present around her. Tsunade-sama, just what is he doing? Just watch. Naruto is cornering the Anbu with 5 Cage Bunshins. Each Naruto is going to perform a jutsu in order for the Anbu to get confused. You see, he has to attend to probabilities. Since Naruto has enough chakra for each clone to use, he can either make them release all jutsus at once, or fool the opponent, since he won't know which one is going to attack. That's brilliant, Hokage-sama. You said he learned from Jiraiya-sama. This Chunin is very interesting. Back at Naruto's fight, each of the clones were making different jutsus, scaring the Anbu a lot, since he knew he could receive all 5 of the jutsus. Suddenly, the 5 clones screamed mostly at the same time, Fuden Daitapa no Jutsu, Rasengan, Suiden Daibafuku no Jutsu, Fuden Rasenshuriken no Jutsu, Suiden Suryuden no Jutsu, earning a wide-mouthed stare from everyone behind the glass, as well as the bear Anbu. You can stop now, Uzumaki Naruto, you've passed the test. Congratulations, said the bear Anbu, merely able to hold his composure at the display of Naruto's abilities with high-level jutsus, and the fact that he wasn't even tired yet, proved that his stamina and chakra capacity were something to call on. Thank you, Anbu-san, I'm quite honored to be a part of Anbu forces, said Naruto, politely bowing at his once opponent and now co-worker. You earned it. Now, as you can see here, your supplies are on top of that table over there. You'll have the standard Anbu uniform and a katana, since every Anbu has one. Now, we have 2 choices of katanas. Since you have Fuden chakra affinity, you can choose a katana which steel was forged in order to channel the wind chakra and make your sword not only sharper but also much stronger. All have the Fuden katana. Very well. So, you can change over there. Go and return for your nomination by the Godime-sama as a new member of Anbu forces. Understood. In nothing but a minute, Naruto appeared back in the room with his Anbu gear all settled, now standing before the bear Anbu, Tsunade-sama, ex-Anbu Black Ops Hatake Kakashi and a few other Anbus. Why, I'm not surprised to see you here, Kakashi-sensei, said Naruto as he managed to take a glimpse of Kakashi reading his book at the corner of his eyes. Do you really think I wouldn't be here to see one of my students become a part of the elite troupe of Konoha? I knew you were going to pass, Naruto, and you sure did. Congratulations. Thanks, Kakashi-sensei. Uzumaki Naruto, put on your mask and come forward, Tsunade ordered Naruto. Hi, Hokage-sama. When Naruto put his black wolf mask, many Anbus stopped what they were doing and turned to notice their new addition to the group. As he walked towards Tsunade, he turned to acknowledge the surprising stares given by his now fellow coworkers. Surprisingly, a cat-masked Anbu was watching the sudden change at the new Anbu, before and after Naruto put his mask on. This Anbu was no other than Azuki Yugo, one of the strongest Kenjutsu users in Anbu forces and of course Konoha as a whole, as well as best friends with a certain red-eyed Kunoichi, also known as Kurenai. Once Naruto kneeled before the Hokage, Tsunade started to perform the nomination of the newest Anbu in the force, Naruto at the age of 15 years old. By the power invested in me by Konoha, I nominate you Uzumaki Naruto a member of Anbu Special Forces. As from now on, when you attend to missions, you shall be called Black Wolf. Congratulations. Thank you, Hokage-sama, it's quite an honor to be nominated for Anbu Special Forces, said Naruto, now with the Anbu Special tattoo already placed on his left arm, between the shoulders and the biceps. Tsunade, even though didn't show, was sad that the once hyperactive unpredictable ninja of Konoha now standing next to her with a serious face and respect towards her, that she immediately came to miss the old blonde shinobi. While looking at Naruto, the only aspect that could resemble Naruto was his golden hair. Almost crying, she thought, Uzumaki Naruto is no more, now he is Black Wolf of Konoha. Now turning to see Kakashi, she wondered. Kakashi, could you see Naruto inside that black mask? Asked Tsunade, seeing the once hyperactive Naruto hiding behind the Black Wolf mask, wondering about the fact that Naruto never ceased to amaze her with his decisions and conquests in battles. I'm afraid not, Hokage-sama, the Uzumaki Naruto you know no longer exists. How can you tell? Asked Tsunade, surprised by what the lazy Junin said to her about Naruto's true self. You see, this is the real Uzumaki Naruto, Hokage-sama. The one you meet was only a mask he wore, so people could forget what he carries even if it were for a little bit. Do you think Minato did well by doing this to his son? I understand that he did it to save Konoha, but he doomed his son to carry that much of a burden. You know, Kakashi, at some level, I can't seem to decide whether the Yondaime chose wisely by putting his son to this never-ending battle. Even though Naruto changed a lot, he still vows to protect the ones he came to love. It was his decision to turn to Anbu, not only because he wants to be strong and well disappear, he did it to prevent anyone from Konoha to suffer because of the burden he was chosen to carry by the Yondaime. Somehow, he took the entire responsibility regarding Kyuubi only to himself, but there is something else. There is more, explained Kakashi. Konoha's Genjutsu mistress. What does Kurenai have to do with? It was all Tsunade managed to say, until she remembered Jiraiya saying about his relationship with the red-eyed Kunoichi. In spite of the burden that he carries, he also suffered deeply when he returned from bringing back Sasuke only to see his beloved dating Sarutobi Asuma. Just how much beating can he take and just be able to sleep at night? I already lost count. Kakashi, just who is he? Kakashi just answered short and painful. He is Konoha's Black Wolf. Hi. At Naruto's apartment. Once Naruto went to his apartment, Kakashi went to his and Tsunade went to her office, feeling pity on the new appointed Anbu. I don't think I could even hear his story that I would become insane. I can't imagine what's passing on your mind. Now, Naruto, you're so close to us, yet you're further than before. What happened to you? I actually miss your old foolish self, you little brat, muttered Tsunade, holding tears from remembering Naruto when he put the Anbu mask on. It was like the old one vanished from sight and a new one appeared, stronger, wise, experienced, determined Black Wolf of Konoha. Back at the Dango shop. Because of the issue they were discussing, it seemed that time was inexistent, when Kurenai finished telling her story with Naruto to her friend. I can understand why you were crying, Kurenai-chan, concluded Anko. Hi, and every time I see him or hear anything about him, my heart literally stops beating, I can't breathe for a while and my tears are just consequence of the entire thing. Kurenai-chan, what are your feelings towards the blonde? I'm in love with him, Anko-chan. Kurenai promptly answered, earning a look from Anko-chan which leads Anki thinking. How could you do this, Naruto? You of all people managed to melt the ice queen of Konoha. More than Asuma? Asked Anko, already knowing that her friend's relationship wasn't going to last very long. Asuma is a nice guy and all, but what I saw inside Naruto's eyes that day was indescribable, Anko-chan. When I look at Asuma, it's not the same thing. So, what you're going to do, then? I can't stay with Asuma, knowing I'm in love with someone else, Anko-chan, I would just fool him and I don't want that. Even though Kurenai loved Naruto, she couldn't bring to herself to actually hurt someone else's feelings like she did with Naruto. So you're breaking up with Asuma? Actually Anko was never too thrilled about her friends choosing on dates. Asuma sure was a nice guy and all but she knew that he wasn't any good for her. Asuma, a chain smoker, was a brute guy and was no use to be dating material, at least not to Kurenai's standard, but the way she and Naruto met, Anko just saw the blonde Chunin in a new light. I never should have dumped Naruto, Anko-chan, now I have to talk to Asuma in a way that he don't get hurt. Just do what your heart and intuition tells you, my friend. If Naruto is what you want, then you shall get him. Thanks, Anko-chan. Well, it's getting late and I should wake up early tomorrow to meet with my team, so I'm going to take a quick shower to brush off things. Do that, I'll head home as well. I have to be prepared for tomorrow, and Anbu force captured some missing nin this morning and they are arriving tomorrow. Me and Ibiki will have to interrogate them a little bit, it will be fun. It's been a while since we had a bunch of missing nins to play with. Same old Anko. Well, good luck with the interrogation thing. With that, both shunshine to their own apartments to call the day. Kurenai entered her apartment and emptiness surrounded her once again, she was cursing herself for being so weak. She was biting her lips out of anger, she just wished to punish herself from breaking Naruto's heart like that. He already have so much to suffer in his life, he shouldn't have to suffer because of my rash thinking. As she was getting ready to sleep, images of the blonde shinobi rushed inside her mind and she stopped breathing once again. She thought she deserved to be like this, she considered this to be Naruto's voice calling up to her for what she did to him. But she would as hell do the right thing and obey what her heart has been telling about. It could take some time, but I must do what I must. Naruto-kun, please forgive me. At her bedroom, Kurenai was having one of the worst nightmares of her life. She was on a forest near the hidden village of Konoha and she saw Uzumaki Naruto standing right next to her, saying something about the Kyuubi and the fact that it's coming their way. But Naruto, how can the Kyuubi come her? When it's trapped within you? I don't know, Kurenai, but you don't have to worry about it. Run, leave me here, I'll protect the village from the Kyuubi, since it's my burden to carry and only I have the power to stop the fox. Go, Kurenai. Kurenai, then, lifted her head in extreme fear at the vision of the nine-tailed monster. Kurenai, what are you doing? Get out of here. Hey damn fox, I'm the one you want, if you want to kill someone, then I'm here, come and get me. Once said that, Naruto vanished and the Kyuubi started following him, just for her to see a flash and the two were gone. When she was crying her hearts out, she turned to listen Naruto screaming out of nowhere, just remember that I'll always love you, Red Rose. Instantly, when the sun appeared through her face, she woke up and screamed his name repeatedly, not realizing that she was having a nightmare. Right there, she knew that she had to do, actually two things. She put on her everyday Junin wear and went out to find the one she needed to give the sad news, the one and only Sarutobi Asuma. Suddenly, She got a glimpse at the tall beard man in front of her and called him. Asuma, Asuma, screamed Kurenai like a mad woman, while thinking how to tell him what she intended to, without hurting his feelings, or if so, don't hurt him too much. Kurenai was thinking if Asuma was the same way inside as he was outside. Outside he was a brute force man, the barbarian type, but how he was on the inside, is what she was worrying about, since the news that she was about to tell him wouldn't be pretty. Kurenai, where's the fire? Said Asuma, actually worried about the red-eyed Kunoichi. Kurenai was very subtle, never taking to express much of herself in public like she was now. There was a reason for her reputation as the Ice Queen of Konoha, and she pretty much gave credit to her reputation. Ever since they began dating, there was always something that drove her away of things, like a wrong choice who wouldn't go away, her conscience tormenting her mind for something that he couldn't understand, but he damn well knew there was something wrong with her, especially today. Asuma, I need to talk to you. Simple and to the point. Kurenai pondered about how to tell the guy, have a conversation first and then tell him or spell it out and hope that he didn't take it bad from being dumped by the red-eyed Junin. She decided to just tell him and see what happened. Okay. Not here, come, said Kurenai, as she hopped through rooftops heading for an empty training ground. Asuma, for his part, had completely lost any hope of trying to guess what Kurenai wanted to tell him about. Mystery was one of her most noticeable features, and he became somewhat annoyed by such a fact. So, Kurenai, what do you want to talk about and why we need to talk in private? Is there something wrong? Asked Asuma in a cool way, while taking a cigarette out and light it in his mouth, fulfilling his nasty habit, which by the way was his way of coping with things he saw along the way of his shinobi life. Kakashi read ICHA books, Anko and Ibiki torture missing nins for such a thing, bunch of sadists, and Asuma smoked. Asuma, first I want you to promise that you're not going to hate me or misjudge for what I'm about to say, okay? Said Kurenai, making the bared smoker now more worried, since with Kurenai, all could be expected. Little did he know that what he was about to hear would make drop his cigarette on the ground. As the couple seemed to be talking with each other, Kakashi was passing by, obviously reading the new book Naruto handed to him called Ika Ika Tactics. He was giggling like a maniac when his eyes caught Asuma and Kurenai talking about something, and from both their looks, things looked pretty serious. Now, back to the couple, Kurenai was now debating inside her head about how to put it. Not wanting to drag this situation any longer, from fear that someone would come and ruin the whole thing or a mission that needed them both, Kurenai had to say it one way or another. Asuma, I'm in love with someone else. I'm sorry, but I just can't stay in a relationship with other than the one I'm in love with. There, she said it. Surprisingly, a 100-pound weight slipped off her shoulders and a light feeling rushed through her chakra coils. It was like she just found the key for total happiness. Kurenai was glamorous. Asuma, on the other hand, wasn't nearly feeling the same thing. To say that Asuma was taken aback was an understatement. He was shocked by an upgraded version of the Chidori running through his veins and bones. But, right now, Asuma was searching his mind to remember just who have the heart of the Genjutsu mistress, and he at least deserved to know who the guy is. Kurenai, tell me, who is he? I think I deserve an honest answer here. Asuma was fuming alright, but he wasn't known for dwelling much on emotional situations. The man was indeed a barbarian, and such feelings for him just didn't hang around that much inside him, or at least at the moment it wasn't. Yes, Asuma, you deserve an honest answer. The one I'm in love with is Uzumaki Naruto. There, she said it. At that statement, both Asuma and Kakashi couldn't form words in their mouths to comprehend what Kurenai said. What? Naruto? But he's only 15 years old, he's only a chunin, she can't be serious, Asuma. She is in love with Naruto. Man, and I thought Ika Ika was good, this is something else. Kakashi. Kurenai, you're supposed to give me an honest answer here. Naruto is only 15 and a chunin. How can he be the one you're in love with? Babbled Asuma, now angrier from losing Kurenai to a brat with pretty much half their age and probably half their experience as shinobi of the leaf. Little did Asuma know much about how much Naruto suffered in his life because a nine-tailed demon. Asuma, I'm sorry but I can't explain why, I just do. I hope you can forgive me for deceiving you all this time, but I just couldn't go through with this, knowing that I'm in love with him. I just can't. Forgive me Asuma, I was actually seeing him before I was with you and I made a huge mistake, I'm so sorry. Said Kurenai, opting to just leave him be for the moment, so she could attend to her other objective that was finding the love of her life again. She figured that Kakashi would know about his whereabouts, since Kakashi and Naruto were like brothers to one another, even though the lazy Junin was Naruto's sensei. Upon seeing him near a tree reading a certain book that she usually scowled him about reading it in front of a female audience actually, Tsunade gave every kunoichi an S-rank mission that was to destroy all traces of the book's existence around the Fire Country. As she arrived, he raised his head and turned to look at Kurenai. Kakashi, I want to talk to you about your blonde friend, said Kurenai, remembering about the weird nightmare that she had involving Naruto and the Kyuubi. What about him, Kurenai? Replied Kakashi, displaying a look of total apathy to the outside world, earning an A+, in showing everyone he just didn't give a damn about anything, but inside Kakashi was interested in what Kurenai wanted to talk to him about Naruto. I had a dream last night, Kakashi, about Naruto and the Kyuubi. At this, Kakashi took off his eyes from the orange book and stared at her. Tell me about it. Well, I and Naruto were at the Fire Lands forest and he said that I needed to run and save myself, because the Kyuubi was coming. Naruto attracted the attention of the monster out of me, saying that the monster was his burden alone to carry and that no one had to suffer because of it. As I ran from the scene, I turned to see a bright light towards their direction and then I woke up, screaming his name thinking he was dead and took the fox with him. I don't know what that mean Kakashi, what do you think? It seems that Kami wanted to show you just what he told me, Kurenai-san, said Kakashi, remembering about Naruto talking about his burden, but also wondering about Kurenai's dream and the fact that she had the dream practically on the same day that Naruto told him about it. What do you mean, Kakashi? Now Kurenai was taken aback by this. She figured that was just a nightmare and here comes Kakashi who knows him better than anyone, tells her that the dream was very similar to what Naruto told Kakashi. Naruto said to me that he couldn't stand to see the ones he loved being taken away just because of the burden he carries. Naruto, by some time, realized that if the Yondaime trusted him to carry the Kyuubi, then it was his alone responsibility to bear, said Kakashi, as he sighed thinking about Naruto's face when he told that to him and the way he was looking at him was frightening to say the least. Naruto didn't look sad, he was feeling nothing, it was like he came in terms with accepting his destiny that the Yondaime put him to. Just how can he say something like that, Kakashi? Doesn't he trust his fellow teammates? Said Kurenai, trying to hold her tears while pushing back memories from the dream which involved Naruto doing the exact same thing in a way. Kurenai, I don't think you realize what's going on here. When he grew up, because of the Kyuubi he didn't have a single parent to look out for him, no one wanted to take care of him because they were afraid that the demon would kill them. Naruto grew all alone. When he met Iruka at the academy, Naruto found the first one that cared for him, then he joined Team 7 and then he met Jiraiya and Tsunade-sama. How do you think he would feel if he saw someone close to him, someone that took the liberty of knowing himself for who he really was, other than Kyuubi brat? At Kakashi's words were entering into Kurenai's ears, her heart stopped once again, and she couldn't breathe once again. She wanted to be there for him, she wanted to hold him once again, and she wanted to just stare at those cerulean eyes. She wanted to be with him and share his burden with her. She didn't want for her love to feel like he was feeling right now. Kakashi, please, you are the one that he considers the most, you've got to tell me where he is, I need to find him, please, pleaded Kurenai, much to Kakashi's surprise, since even though she said that she was in love with Naruto, she wasn't exactly displaying it until now. Kurenai, I'm sorry to say that Naruto's whereabouts is no longer a common knowledge. What do you mean by that? I'm not allowed to talk about it, but seeing that you care so deeply for my student and Otwoto, I'm going to give you a hint, but if you tell anyone I told you that, I'll deny, do you hear me? Loud and clear, come on, Kakashi, I have to talk to him. What once was his mask to hide his true self, now he has replaced it with another mask for war, that's the hint, but Kurenai-san, a little piece of advice, if you are in love with my Otwoto as you said so yourself, don't stop until you find him and tell him just how you felt about him. Thanks, Kakashi, you're truly a friend to him. Thanks for the hint. Kurenai, in order for you to solve this puzzle, you have to look deep inside your heart and look there. Only then you'll figure out where Naruto will be, said Kakashi, already walking behind Kurenai. Meanwhile at the border with Kumo, 4 Anbus were dashing with great speed through the forest of Land of Fire, in order to get to the border with Kumo. Seeing their masks, they were Hawk, Bear, Cat and Black Wolf. This was Naruto's 15th mission as an Anbu, being certain that the first ones were set to test his loyalty to Konoha. On one mission, he was sent on a trip to a village close to Iowa, alone to recover a missing scroll from the Hokage's vault. It was safe to say that Naruto did meet some force, but there were only rogue ninjas and bandits guarding the stolen scroll. Naruto, in his training, was learning how to control Raiden jutsus and managed to learn a very powerful jutsu called Raiden Jaibashi no Jutsu, lightning style, electromagnetic pulse jutsu. Back at the mission at Kumo, Hawk was the team captain and they've reached the place they were to meet the Junin Genma and his 3 genins that asked for help to take care of Chunins from Kumo that were trying to invade a village which was located at the Fire Country. Once they arrived, they set camp without setting up some fire, so to avoid suspicion. Hawk being a strong and capable leader needed to issue some orders regarding the team's safety while resting for tomorrow. Black Wolf, do some scan on the area with cage bunchins, said Hawk, since he came to know of Naruto's extensive chakra capacity. Cat, plan some traps around the perimeter. Bear, help me here with our utilities. Hi, everyone in the group called and each went to do their designated assignments. Naruto, now known as Black Wolf, made some cage bunchins and scanned the area, only to find the number of enemies and their positions and report to the squad captain. Hawk, sir, I spotted 5 Kumo Chunins, being 2 on the far east side from here and the other 3 on the left, they are very far from here, though. Good work, Black Wolf. Did you see if they have skills? Only one, Hawk-san, he has a scar on his left cheek, according to my cage bunchin, he felt it a large amount of chakra and if he has just average chakra control, we are going to have one hell of a fight. Got it, Black Wolf. Go help Bear set the camp. Hi, said Black Wolf for Hawk to turn and take a good look at his new soldier. Behind Hawk's mask, he was caught wondering about Black Wolf and the fact that he was only 15 years old and already a part of Anbu Special Forces. Nearly everyone in Anbu has at least 20 years old, yet Black Wolf had so far displayed an excellent job. Hawk would not be surprised if Black Wolf would become Anbu captain very soon. On the next day, Hawk and the rest of his team proceeded with their plan to wipe out the Kumo Chunins from the village. That meant Black Wolf and Bear would go after the group with the strongest of them, since Black Wolf was also the Anbu with most chakra capacity and excellent stamina and the other 2 went to fight the others. Once they arrived at the location of the Chunins as Black Wolf said they would be, Baron himself was suppressing their chakra in order to avoid detection and if possible, take out the enemy without having to fight. Bear was greedy, so he wanted to take on the high-level Chunin, leaving Black Wolf to kill the weak one. Once they defined their target, both of them rushed to a place that they could get a clear shot and attack the ninjas, knocking them off. Black Wolf took care of his one, but Bear was discovered by the high-level Chunin, who actually was an A- ranked shinobi of Kumo, a dangerous one and the thing was that he knocked Bear out, leaving Black Wolf to deal with him. So, Konoha Anbu came to play with us, said the Kumo shinobi with a smirk on his face that looked like he was extremely confident about something. Tsuki Kuriku, ranked A ranked shinobi, if you don't leave this premises right now, I'll be forced to imply on you the same fate that your friend there had, only I can't guarantee that I will go easy on you. That guy was a pain in my, he always irritated me, I should thank you for taking him out. I see, well so you don't mind if I keep his head, you know for collection, said Naruto, apparently holding the guy's head and showing to the one who after seeing the head, pretty much confessed that was actually a friend of the man who supposedly was killed, much to Naruto's grin, knowing that his little plan worked. You bastard, I didn't think Konoha Anbu could be so sick-minded. You just killed my friend there and for that you'll die by my hands, mark my words for it. Little did he know that he was trapped in one of Naruto's newest genjutsu techniques, which made the other see things that in reality weren't happening. Tsuki was furious at Black Wolf for doing that to his teammate, charging at Black Wolf with blinded rage, only for Black Wolf to start making hand seals for cage bunshin and started pounding Tsuki with a swift taijutsu combo, kicking him hard in the stomach. With great speed, Tsuki formed some hand seals and screamed Fuden Daitapa no Jutsu, wind style, great breakthrough jutsu. In less than a blink, the huge gust of wind came rushing at Black Wolf, leaving him only one way out of it. By channeling chakra through his feet, he jumped away from the force, leaving his enemy wide open for an attack. Naruto threw one shuriken and multiplied, forming 10, by making some hand seals and screaming cage shuriken no jutsu. All the shurikens hit the target, making him lose some blood. Because of this, the enemy fainted from blood loss, leaving Naruto clear to see how this teammate was doing. Bear, are you okay? Asked Naruto, after he helped the big Anbu member getting up from the ground. Black Wolf, what happened to that guy? Asked Bear, since he only remember being taken out by the Kumo shinobi by surprise. Bear was berating himself from underestimating the guy's ability, since with one hit, Bear was on the ground, unconscious. I managed to knock him out and I'm going to capture him. He is an A- ranked shinobi from Kubo and presence guaranteed in Konoha's bingo book, said Naruto, remembering the time when he was reading the bingo book like Kakashi was reading his Ika Ika. Good, then, while you do this, where is the other one? I'm going to pick him up for questioning. He is next to that house over there, knocked out on the ground. Could you tie him up for us? Hawk and Cat must be here anytime now. Got it, I'll do it. Just as Naruto were tying Tsuki, Hawk arrived with Cat with his captures and requested report. Black Wolf, report. Hi. As we arrived to our location, I managed to take out one of them, but the High Chunin from Kubo discovered Bear's position, knocking him out for a time. As I engaged him, I started pissing him off using a genjutsu to appear that I was holding his teammate's head and showing to him. So I took him on a cage bunshin taijutsu and managed to send him flying. He, after that, sent a Fuden technique at me, in which I dodged and finished him with cage shuriken no jutsu. Good work, Black Wolf. Mission accomplished. Congratulations, team. Let's take these guys to Ibiki-san for interrogation. At Tsunade's office, Tsunade was finishing her paperwork, when, suddenly, 4 Anbus shunshined inside the office, and screamed loudly for even Shizune to hear outside her office. Mission accomplished, Hokage-sama. You guys don't have to shout, I can hear you. Congratulations, your paycheck will be available once you arrive at the headquarters. Congratulated Tsunade, proud of the fact that this Anbu squad was becoming along greatly with some missions success in a row. Hokage-sama, during our mission, Black Wolf here managed to capture an A-ranked Kumo ninja named Tsuki Kuriku. He is already at Ibiki-san for questioning, said Hawk, as he pointed to Black Wolf. Naruto for his part was scowling Hawk since he entered into Anbu just so that he wouldn't be showing his face, and yet here is his captain boosting his image to no one less than the Hokage. Is that right? We have quite a bounty with this guy. Congratulations, Black Wolf, you are to receive the bounty once Kumo pays his rescue money. It took a while, but Tsunade remembered who Black Wolf is, and she was trying to see him, even it's just a glimpse of the once hyperactive shinobi she was getting used to. Everyone, dismissed, except Black Wolf. I need to talk to you. Hi, Hokage-sama. Hold on a minute, Black Wolf. Shizune, are you there? Please come here. You asked, Tsunade-sama. Yes, prepare a message for Kumo, tell them that we captured this shinobi here trying to harm one of Land of Fire's villages. Hi, Hokage-sama, said Shizune, looking directly at the black-masked Anbu with slight fear. He was tall, blonde hair, and he was expelling some dangerous aura around him, almost like saying, "Do not mess with me," kind of thing. His eyes were feral yellow and the mask of his was scary as hell. You shall not fear him, Shizune, you happen to know him for quite some time now, said Tsunade, trying to resist the urge to chuckle at her apprentice's reactions towards the new improved Uzumaki Naruto. Hi, Hokage-sama, it's just that his mask is scary, that's all, said Shizune, earning a grin from Tsunade. Come on, Shizune, you know him as well as I do. Is it? Yes, he is. Sorry, I'll excuse myself, Hokage-sama, Anbu-san, said Shizune with some thought. Is that Naruto? I can't believe it. So, Black Wolf, congratulations on capturing the Kumo Nin, or shall I say Uzumaki Naruto, said Tsunade, trying to catch a emotional reaction on the boy by revealing his name just so that she could see a single reaction out of him, but to no avail. Tsunade-sama, if you're trying to make me look uncomfortable by sharing my identity, with all due respect, that won't. Is there anything you want from me, Hokage-sama? No, you're dismissed, said Tsunade, frustrated from trying to see just a little glimpse of emotion coming out of the blonde Anbu. At Kurenai's apartment. Back at Kurenai's apartment, she was thinking about Kakashi's hint. Actually, she couldn't stop thinking through her entire mission together with her students, Inazuka Kiba, Aburame Shino and Hyuga Hinata. Only half an hour before it, she was at Tsunade's office, being dismissed. By the time her team were leaving the administration building, they heard an Anbu squad returning from some mission and screaming something about mission accomplished and a certain Black Wolf that managed to capture an A-ranked Kumo Nin. She was puzzled, but she was apprehensive as hell. She still hadn't seen Naruto yet, but she was determined to find her true love, at all costs. She was caught wondering about Kakashi's hint that said, what once was his mask to hide his true self, now he has replaced with another mask for war. Kurenai also remembered Kakashi saying that she had to look through her heart to find out. It was a little over than 10 p.m., and she was lying down on her bed, but she couldn't get any answers. Damn Kakashi and his underneath the underneath. After some time, 4 a.m., she couldn't sleep. She was awake all night, thinking about how good Naruto's chest was when she used it as a pillow to rest and forget of all her troubles. She missed him so much, but she was determined to find him, so she started bumping on his head, for her brain to just give the answer. Suddenly, she remembered when she first saw his eyes and remembered that this wasn't the loudmouth hyperactive ninja she once came to know. What once was his mask to hide his true self, Naruto take off that mask and replaced for a masker wore. It was at this moment that Kurenai was out of breath. She couldn't believe that she was so stupid. It was the perfect hint. Naruto took off his mask to hide his true self and replaced for an Anbu mask. Naruto became an Anbu. To say that Kurenai was happy, it was an understatement. She was jumping all over her bed, knowing that she was one step closer to find her true love. She was wondering. Of course, he is Anbu, otherwise I would have seen him somehow. Kurenai was lucky. She knew that Tsunade would know where Naruto was, cause she is the one directly above the Anbu forces and she have her friend Yugo working there as well. When the sun struck on her room, she felt a little bit tired, but now she couldn't sleep. Suddenly, a knock on the door. When Kurenai opened it, she saw Hinata. Good morning, Hinata. Good morning, Kurenai-sensei. Tsunade-sama called us to get to her office. Okay. Then, I'm going to change and I'll be right there. Hi. At Tsunade's office. Once at Tsunade's office, Team 8 entered to see a sleeping Hokage drooling all over some mission scrolls, so Kiba asked his dog Akamaru to wake her up in a light manner. When the huge dog approached Tsunade, he licked her from chin to her forehead, waking the grumpy Tsunade. Inuzuka Kiba, if your dog is any way near my face again, he'll be sent to the dog pound, understood? Hi, Hokage-sama, replied a frightened Chunin. Team 8 presenting ourselves for mission, Hokage-sama, said. Okay. Team 8, oh, yes, I have a B-ranked mission at Kumo's border. What are the details? It will be a 3-week mission to study and gather information on Kumo's interest on villages near their border. My last Anbu team captured 4 Kumo Chunins trying to take over one village right next to the border. The fire daimyo requested a report on their intentions. Team 8 is to leave by noon tomorrow, dismissed. Hi, Hokage-sama. After that, Team 8 left except Kurenai, who wanted to talk to Tsunade in order to get some information regarding Naruto's whereabouts. Yes, Kurenai, what do you wish to talk about? Hokage-sama, I was wondering if you've seen Naruto around. Asked Kurenai, which came as a surprise for Tsunade, and she didn't make any efforts in hiding anything. Why the sudden interest? Asked Tsunade, already knowing about their affair from Jiraiya, but wanted to see where this was going. It's just that I haven't seen him around anymore, that's all, lied Kurenai. Are you sure? What do you mean, Hokage-sama? It's nothing, really, forget about it, said Tsunade, hearing what she needed to know. I'm sorry, Kurenai-san, but I cannot tell you about Naruto. Why is that? He is no longer a regular ninja of Konoha. You have to promise me you won't spread this information, okay? If I learn that you told this to anyone, I'll have you expelled from the ninja order. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Hokage-sama. Well, you see, he is part of Anbu now. Anbu. He is only 15. Asked Kurenai, trying to deceive Tsunade so that she wouldn't know of Kurenai and Naruto's relationship and the fact that she wanted him back to her by all means possible. She loved him, and deep down inside she knew he loved her. He came to me and requested a position at Anbu. He made a test and was approved. By now, he has completed 15 high-level missions with his squad. Anbu personnel are taking a liking to him. Surprisingly enough, he is very professional. His squad is one of the top squads in Anbu Special Forces. Really, I didn't know he would handle it. Being Anbu is tough. Kurenai, quit playing games with me in order to find out more about your beloved blonde. I cannot reveal any more information, cause it's considered classified, said Tsunade, being fed up with playing a game of questions and answers from Kurenai. So, you knew, didn't you? Mumbled Kurenai, looking down to the ground in shame since thoughts of what she did to Naruto appeared again in her mind and sadness could be felt. Yeah, you want to be with him, don't you, Kurenai? Very much, Hokage-sama. I think I'm in love with him, said Kurenai, earning a wide-eyed look from Tsunade, who right now was screaming inside her head. What? How? Wow, Naruto, you managed to melt the heart of the Ice Queen of Konoha. Tsunade couldn't form words as she was paralyzed. Hokage-sama, are you okay? Asked Kurenai, somewhat afraid to know about Tsunade's opinion on the matter, since the Hokage was like a mother figure to Naruto. Oh, I'm fine, Kurenai-san, do not worry about him, you'll find him eventually. Now, I believe your team have a mission to complete. Hi, thank you, Hokage-sama, said Kurenai, as she bowed and left the room, leaving a wondering Tsunade. My god, Naruto, you're full of surprises, aren't you? You just can't get enough of changing people for the good, I mean. After talking to Tsunade, Kurenai went back to her apartment, so she could rest for the day, since it was already nighttime. Suddenly, a swirl of leaves could be heard from her living room, appearing no less than the snake mistress Mitarashi Anko. She was there in hopes of talking to her friend about the blonde fellow that suddenly grew her interest sky high. Anko was still dazed by the fact the one known as Ice Queen of Konoha was falling in love with a supposedly young but also good-looking chunin. Once Kurenai sensed the familiar chakra signature, she went to the living room, only to see her best friend with a little bag on her shoulders. "Greetings, Anko-chan, what are you doing here?" greeted the red-eyed beauty like it was an everyday occurrence that her snake friend appeared in her living room when she wanted to talk or just hang out with Kurenai. Anko happened to have only 2 friends in Konoha who didn't treat her like a snake bitch. "Oh, Kurenai-chan, I'm touched that you did not welcome me to your home. I just thought of keeping you some company and get to talk about the blonde Gaki for a bit. That story of yours really got to me, you know. I'd never think someone like him would get to you that much," said Anko, only for Kurenai to look down to the floor, feeling sad of hearing what her friend said. "What about him? What not about him? 2 chakra affinities, chunin at the age of 15, handsome, have beautiful blue eyes as you said. Of course, if what you said back there is true, then he is one hell of a guy," mumbled Anko that last part, mostly to herself from imagining Naruto and Kurenai together in a provocative. "Yes, he is indeed quite a guy, Anko-chan. I wouldn't be feeling the way I do towards him if he wasn't. Add to the fact that I came to know yet another feat that he was able to do. Instead of just a chunin at the age of 15, he recently entered the Anbu and he is now a member of the Anbu Special Forces." "What? An Anbu at the age of 15? I didn't figure he was a prodigy hidden under the hideous orange jumpsuit of his. But, wait, how you know he entered Anbu program? I work close with them at the torture and interrogation division and not once had I seen him there or any blonde character for that matter." "Did Yugo-chan tell you that?" asked Anko, to which Kurenai nodded her head in the negative. "No, Tsunade-sama told me. She even told me that he's doing quite well there, having already completed 15 A-ranked missions and a couple of S-ranked ones, not counting some B and C-ranked missions that I think he already completed a number close to 30 B and 40 C-ranked. Well, considering his A and S-ranked missions, it only seems accurate to say that he has completed quite a lot of middle-risk level missions, but Kurenai, he is too young to witness the hard life from being a part of Anbu. Trust me, I've been there," said Anko, showing some concern on the boy's mental stability, clearly not considering just who Naruto is in the first place and the fact that he faced worse than being an Anbu since the day he was born. "Anko-chan, if even the Kyuubi no Yoko doesn't scare him, what makes you think that any other event would scare him at all? Besides, I'm quite certain that he might be with Yugo as partners and she is one hell of a kunoichi. She might be there making sure he was alright. I don't know, Kurenai-chan, it wouldn't seem like that if Naruto is what the rumors have led to believe. I'm sure that Yugo is strong for sure, but Naruto sure wouldn't need any help from her. More likely, he would end up helping her getting out of tough situations. Because of the monster inside him, Naruto knows no chakra exhaustion, no needing to be at the hospital for more than a day. Yugo-chan is one of the best Anbu there is in headquarters, but she cannot hold as long as Naruto in a fight. From what Kakashi told, Naruto has nearly everlasting stamina," explained Anko, to which Kurenai frowned. "Yugo was her idol. She is part of Anbu Special Forces for quite some time and still has time for dating the Kenjutsu specialist Gekko Hayate. It would be impossible for Kurenai to compare Yugo's fighting ability with just anyone, but she was thinking about her beloved blonde and how would Anbu training make him stronger than he already is." After some extended talk with both of them, they made a little bed for Anko to sleep and continued talking some more, until Kurenai at some point couldn't take him of her mind. Every word Anko said, Kurenai would associate to him, which made her friend a little angry, but seemed to get past it, since she knew how much she was suffering from not getting together with Naruto or even find him for that matter. On the next day, Team 8 consisting of Kurenai, Kiba, Hinata and Shino went to their mission towards Kumo. Along the way, Hinata noticed that her sensei was appearing very sad about something. She never saw her sensei's emotions, other than a quick smile as a sign of congratulating her students. Seeing that, she decided to talk to her and see what was wrong with her sensei. "Kurenai-sensei, is there something wrong?" asked Hinata, deciding on the direct approach strategy, so as to get to the point and see if she could do anything to help her sensei. For some time, now Hinata lost that shyness around people, and after the Chunin exams when she was promoted, she was able to show everyone that the once Hyuga Hinata was gone and she would be stronger. "What do you mean, Hinata?" Kurenai, for her part, was trying not to show depressed or any emotions rather than the normal smile, and on occasions praising on her students' abilities to a certain degree, but at hearing Hinata's out-of-the-blue question, she was cursing herself from doing the exact opposite from what she intended. "It's nothing. I just turned to look at you and you were looking down for some reason and I wanted to know if you were fine." "Oh, sorry. Sensei, you can tell me, why are you sad?" "I'm just sad because I'll be leaving the village for quite some time and my search would have to be interrupted." "Search? Search for what?" "Oh, it's nothing, Hinata, he will be here when I return, right?" Kurenai faked smiled and also smacked her forehead for mentioning the he in the sentence, making an open statement that Kurenai was dating someone. "He? You never told me you had a boyfriend in Konoha, Kurenai-sensei." "Oh, he isn't my..." Kurenai couldn't finish this sentence. Sure, she wanted more than anything for Naruto to be her boyfriend, but she was considering his feelings, since she didn't considered before, when going out with Asuma. Hinata saw for the first time those sad ruby eyes and pity her. She was suffering because she was having feelings towards this guy and then she had to leave him and go to their mission. So she dropped their talk and started studying their surroundings, as well as grasp the mission details with her sensei. At night on Konoha's border. It was already night time in the middle of the Land of Fire's dense forest, and a certain black wolf-masked Anbu could be seen patrolling the area. A few days back, he volunteered for some border patrol at night, at least 3 days a week. Deciding to wait a little bit, he sat on a fallen log. So far, his new choice of lifestyle has taken him to higher levels of experience as well as fighting. So far, he learned quite a few jutsus from accessing Anbu's library and study some scrolls from Kumo that he got with an Anbu X Kumo ninja. Needless to say, that Naruto also learned some Fuden and Raiden jutsus, since Kumo rely on both these element jutsus. Right now, Naruto was working on genjutsu mid-level ones and how to dispel high-level ones. He learned some very good ones and one used by the Nadaime at the Sandaime called Kokuangyu no Jutsu, Journey into Black Darkness technique. Black Wolf was looking at the peaceful environment around him, when he gazed at the moon and noticed it was full moon today. Suddenly, a noise could be heard not too far away and Naruto could feel his Charka signature, wondering that it didn't belong to anyone he knew. Because of his now trained sight, he started looking towards the direction that the 4 footsteps could be heard, almost the same type. Naruto just stood there waiting for the supposed enemy to come. Inside Black Wolf's mask, the feral grin was noticeable and Naruto was ready for what was coming. During his time in Anbu, his fellow comrades come to fear him when he showed such eyes. It was like bright yellow that could glow in the night. But what Naruto encountered wasn't any shinobi or kunoichi. In fact, the only thing he could see was those same eyes as his own, golden yellow eyes exchanging looks with his own. It appeared that the creature was studying Naruto's intentions, since the eyes stopped moving. After some time staring at each other, the creature walked some more, letting the moonlight show how it looked like. Naruto was astonished for the first time since he joined Anbu forces. The creature was a big black wolf with scars all over his paws, showing signs of fierce battle and survival, and it was studying Naruto's reactions. Black Wolf facing Black Wolf. And then the wolf started talking to Black Wolf. "Anbu, I can see in your eyes, human, that you are very similar with my own." "And why is that?" asked Naruto, now getting ready to defend himself if needed be against the wolf in front of him. "Your eyes show the same thing as mine, feral determination." But what almost scares me is the fact that you seem strong, but you travel alone most of the time. I'm just like you, in a way. In fact, I believe that we share a lot of similarities. The path I chose to follow, it's different from what you think. A wolf always travels in packs, as kind of attacking in group or having at last someone to protect you. I chose to be a lone wolf, a being that's not afraid of fighting alone or cornered against the wall by being outnumbered. I see, very interesting. Your ideals are similar to my own. But to think that you aren't the only lone wolf in this area. Can you see anyone here that resembles myself, human? No, I cannot see and I cannot sense any presence other than us. So, you see I'm a lone wolf, too. I was expelled from the wolf clan a few months ago and since then, I travel alone, fight alone and win alone. Now that you say, I do resemble you, AHHM, do you have a name, wolf? The name is Ace. Ace. Mine is Black Wolf Anbu Uzumaki Naruto. At first, when I saw you from quite a distance, somehow, I could feel your feral aura, it was like it was calling me somehow. You're quite a human, Naruto-san, it's been a while since I meet one like you, how old are you? Does it matter? No, not much, I have 200 years old and I'm still young enough to put fear at those who come near, just by showing my feral grin. Well, since you told your age, it would be rude of me, not to tell my age, wouldn't it? I'm afraid so. Okay, I'll turn 16 next week. Still too young, I see. It wouldn't be wise of you to underestimate your enemy, just because of his age, you know. You show quite potential, Naruto-san. Tell you what, if you beat me in a fight, you can sign my contract and summon me anytime you're in danger. Isn't the wolf's contract? How can you have a contract of your own? When I was expelled from my clan, I made my own and kept looking for a shinobi to sign this. Okay, so if I beat you in a fight, I can sign your contract one. Right. Let's go, then. Both black wolves assumed fighting position and came charging towards each other, basically on taijutsu. After no one could land a hit, Ace used Fuden Chakra and threw a little hurricane towards Naruto. K's, quite a technique, you got that. I don't like to brag that much, but it is. Okay, see if mine is as good as yours, then. Fuden Daitapa no Jutsu, Wind Style, Great Breakthrough Jutsu. With that, Naruto threw a huge gust of wind at Ace who got out of the day of the wind just in time, since it was quickly approaching and Ace wouldn't been able to just stop the wind from coming at him. Then, Ace did something with his claws that Naruto recognized right away, since he took his katana and did the same thing, by channeling wind chakra. Both attacks consisted of creating a razor wind capable of cutting anything, quite similar to Fuden K's no Yaiba, wind style, wind sword jutsu technique but with an actual sword. I can see you're strong Naruto-san, this battle does not need to go further. Quote. But I didn't hit you yet. Look closer at my left paw, your technique beat mine and made this cut here. Here is my contract, sign with blood. Okay. So Ace, do you have a home to come back to? Cause if you want, you can stay with me back in Konoha. I've been in these woods for far too long, Naruto, I think I'll accept your offer. Okay, then, let's head back, I just have to file a report to our Godime Hokage and then we can head home. Godime, she is our leader, back in Konoha. I thought that the Sandame was back in charge, what happened? It's a long story, I'll tell you along the way, so, just how fast are you, Ace-san? Ace showed his first smile in decades and vanished towards Konoha, for Naruto's amusement. That fast? Huh, okay, let's go. With that, both black wolves vanished, arriving in Konoha and jumping through rooftops towards the administration building. At Tsunade's office, Tsunade was finishing some paperwork and was very bored to say the least. Since Naruto entered the Anbu, not once did he burst into the door and called her Tsunade Oba-chan, she missed it a lot. Right now, she was looking at the empty Konoha, since it was nightfall and those who weren't on missions, was sleeping right now. She, suddenly, sensed someone coming fast, but she sensed Naruto's chakra as well. In an instant, Naruto and Ace appeared on top of the building next to the administration building, and then shunshined inside her office. Tsunade-sama, reporting back from Border Patrol mission. Ah, Black Wolf, okay. But tell me, who is your friend over there? He is my summon, Tsunade-sama, he is called Ace. At the mention of his name, he came forward and greeted Tsunade. My greetings, Tsunade-sama, I once met your grandfather, the Shadaime, and I'm honored to meet you. Black Wolf, you can summon wolves, now. No, just him, the contract that I signed, only summon Ace. I see. Tsunade-sama, do you need anything else? No, Naru. Tsunade didn't finish the sentence and both had already shunshined her office. They both have that look that scares the shit out of me. At Naruto's home, Naruto and Ace arrived at Naruto's apartment and Naruto fixed the sofa for his new summon to sleep, along with something to eat. Then Naruto took off his uniform and decided to look himself at the mirror. Long gone was his smile and joy in his face. Long gone was the Naruto who resorted to saying he would change Konoha once being Hokage. This Naruto was different. After that, he went to sleep at least a couple of hours, since he had to report at 7 at Anbu headquarters. At Anbu headquarters. Once he arrived at Anbu headquarters, Naruto did his routine at the training ground. Right now, he was focusing on Kenjutsu, since he mastered already Raiden and Genjutsu. After that, since he didn't have any missions in the morning, he summoned Ace. What do you need, Naruto? Well, I was thinking we can practice some moves as kind of teamwork fight. I see. Well, since we both have wind affinity, there are a couple of moves I can teach you to do with me, that wolves did together. Okay. First one, did you remember the attack you hit me with? After getting a nod from Naruto, well, we can surround the enemy, rotate and start throwing razor wind attacks from all directions. Meanwhile, it looked like there was other Anbus watching him train. Hawk, Bear and Cat was staring him with a black wolf, training some joint attacks with a wooden dummy. There he goes again, always training and doing missions, he doesn't rest, started Bear talking to Hawk. He's pushing himself further, only to get better results on missions. I heard from Kakashi-senpai, that Black Wolf trains a lot, only to be able to protect his comrades, answered Hawk. He knew Kakashi-senpai? Cat asked. Kakashi-senpai was his Junin instructor for quite some time and even he was surprised when Black Wolf beat Bear here in combat. After a while, there was a sound inside the Anbu headquarters, reaching for Black Wolf and Hawk to go to Tsunade's office right away. At Tsunade's office, as Tsunade was looking through some documents, she was waiting patiently for two Anbus seeing as she sent a letter to the Anbu cheat a while ago. She was about to smash her fist in annoyance. Hawk and Black Wolf presenting, Godime-sama, what do you need? It's an A-ranked mission. My sources told me that 4 Iwa missing nins were attacking a village near Konoha. Reach the village and capture the enemy and Hawk, I want them alive, I want to deliver them to Iwa. Hi, Godime-sama. Black Wolf, meet me at the West Gate in half an hour. Hi, it would be your 25th ranked mission, isn't it, Black Wolf? Hi, West Gate. Once they met at West Gate, the travel began. Black Wolf, since you are the one with Sweden affinity, you will take the lead, my fire techniques won't do much to these missing nins. How about some joint attacks, then? What do you mean? When a certain rock is heated, a blast of water is what it takes to break it. What do you propose, then? If any of them happens to know some good defense jutsus, we will attack together and penetrate easily. Okay, then, enough talk, let's go faster. Hi. When they arrived at the village, there was destruction everywhere, just piles of giant boulders near some buildings. Just when Hawk gave up the mission, saying it was too late, both Anbu encountered IWA jutsus coming at their directions. Hawk and Black Wolf each break to different directions, managing to divide the group of IWA missing nins. So, Konoha came to have some fun, right? Surrender or we will have to use force. Okay, I'm really scared, you don't scare anyone. In the intercom, that Anbu just recently acquired them, Black Wolf communicated with Hawk. Hawk, close your eyes, when I say, I'll use a genjutsu to blind them all. Okay, then. Now, said Naruto making fast hand seals and screaming Kokuangyu no Jutsu, journey into black darkness technique. After Naruto's technique, everything the IWA nins could see is dark and was sitting targets for the Anbu to attack. So, Black Wolf tackled two of them with a Fudan-infused katana, knocking both of them, and Hawk did some hand signs, screaming Kaden Hausenka no Jutsu, hitting some fireballs at the rest of the Iwa nins, burning their stomach and knocking them out. Nice work, Black Wolf. Thanks. Okay, make a Kage Bunshin and let's carry them to Ibiki-san. Hi. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. At Tsunade's office. After 4 hours of mission, 2 hawks and 2 black wolves appeared carrying the IWA missing nins. Mission accomplished. Hokage-sama, screamed Hawk, to which Tsunade was actually holding herself from punching the Anbu right there. Good work, take them to Ibiki. Hi. With that, both vanished, leaving Tsunade alone to think. Those two are quite a team. I was thinking of assembling a team of elite Anbus for S-rank missions. Tsunade noticed that there was one paper on her table and she turned to look at it. It was this mission's report. The report said that Black Wolf aka Uzumaki Naruto made an A-rank genjutsu to blind the opponents and they were sitting ducks. I didn't know Naruto's chakra control was good enough to perform such technique. Shizune, get me Black Wolf's history file, I wanna see how he's doing. Hi, Tsunade-sama, here it is. Okay, let me see how that Gaki is doing. Name, Uzumaki Naruto. Age, 16. Code name, Black Wolf. Chakra affinities, Fudan and Sweden. Missions, 10S25A, 40B, 80C, 100D. Training, Mastered Raiden Jutsus, Junin level chakra control, Genjutsu abilities average, and right now, training Kenjutsu arts. Summon, Wolf named Ace. Mental stability, stable. Rank, Chunin, Elite Anbu, official, mid-level Junin, unofficial. Tsunade was surprised to see that Anbu considered Naruto a Junin according to his skills. She still remembered the day the Gaki learned the Rasengan, and just how much he grew since he arrived from Jiraiya's training. Now come to think about, Tsunade was wondering about Naruto's new face. Some time had already passed and she has never seen his face anymore, only his eyes and the Black Wolf mask. While Tsunade was thinking, a shinobi entered kicking through her door with a request for backup. It seemed that Team 8 was being captured, because of the information they acquired. Damn it, Kurenai, just how the hell did your team manage to get caught? You have 3 Chunins that could sense enemy a mile away. Shizune, get Black Wolf and Cat here, right away. Hi. In less than a minute, both Anbus appeared for Tsunade to give their mission. Since there are Konoha shinobi on the line here, I'll make this an S-ranked mission. You see, Team 8 was captured by Kumo, just past the border between them and the Fire Country. You guys are to retrieve them immediately. Tsunade managed to look at Naruto's eyes and caught the first glimpse of emotion. Since he joined Anbu, he knew who was in Team 8, as well as Kat, but she was completely angry, because they kidnapped her friend. Black Wolf will be team captain. Dismissed. Hi. Since there was a rescue mission, Anbu were trained to gather chakra through their feet to get there faster, but without wasting enough chakra in case there was a battle to face. After some distance, Kat caught a glimpse of Black Wolf and sensed what many on Anbu had come to fear, his feral grin and his yellow eyes. Suddenly, Naruto took some blood and put his hands on a tree screaming Kuchio's no jutsu, appearing Ace to the aid. Black Wolf 2, what do you need? It's a rescue mission. I and Kat are the only ones that were sent, but I can sense there is at least 6 Kumo ninjas there, so we'll need your help. Just how do you know that there are 6 ninjas? Kat was perplexed. Black Wolf's right, I can smell 6 presences, other than Konoha's ninjas, Ace concluded. Teammate happens to have 3 old friends of mine and I can assure you any of them could sense any enemy approaching, so it means that they were surrounded and surrendered, said emotionless Naruto. Yeah, I also got a friend there as well. She must be the Junin, her name is Kurenai, said Naruto, showing some major killer intent 3, which didn't get unnoticed by Kat. He knows Kurenai, but he wasn't on her team of genins. What happened with Black Wolf and Kurenai? Those thoughts came to her as soon as seeing Naruto getting angry upon hearing her name. After a while, they have arrived at the place and they saw a house which appeared to show 4 ninjas seated and 2 guards standing inside. Okay, here is the plan. I'm sure, Ace, that you already know where the enemies, so go with Kat. There are 4 enemies outside the house and 2 inside. We have to take the 4 first, so Kat and Ace, you take the ones on the left there and I'll take the ones on the right. Permission to kill, but use Kenjutsu and stealth assassination, same for you Ace. Well, not Kenjutsu for him like humans do. His claws had to do the trick. Got it. The ones outside were disposed immediately by Black Wolf and Kat's stealth assassination and Ace's quick claws. After that, they gathered just outside the house and suppressed their chakra. Okay, good job, both of you. Now the remaining 2 inside, I'll cast a genjutsu inside, leaving Kat and me time enough to dispose of the last ones. Ace, thanks for your help, now go rest a bit, after this, I'll go home. Okay, good luck. Kat, you're ready. Ready when you are. Inside the house, Team 8 was pissed. They were captured by Kumo shinobis and they didn't know what to do. Shino sent the call to Konoha for backup, but in order to get where they were, there would be some time. Meanwhile, Kumo could torture them or worse. Little did they know of Naruto's plan just outside the house, when a sudden darkness surrounded them all. Genjutsu, just who the hell did this? Wondered Kurenai, considering that such technique was pretty damn hard to do. Suddenly, everyone could hear swords being taken out and attack was heard. Then 2 bodies fall hard to the ground. When the genjutsu was dispelled by the one who cast it, Team 8, suddenly, saw 2 Anbus standing in front of them with the Kumo ninjas on the ground dead. Team 8, we were sent here by Hokage-sama to rescue you, said Black Wolf. Finally, I thought you guys would take a while to get here, growled Kiba, when, suddenly, everyone in the room caught a glimpse of Black Wolf's yellow eyes and trembled in fear. Even Kat, who unleashed the ropes and the chakra suppression devices, was sweating, since she knew of her partner's history at Anbu. Forgive us for my teammate's behavior, Anbu-san, he is just temperamental, Kurenai apologized. Forget about it, let's go, Tsunade-sama is worried about you all, said Black Wolf. Kurenai was still looking at the black-masked Anbu. She was positive that she heard that voice before, but the eyes sure brought her memories of her beloved blonde. Once they left the house, Shino came to Black Wolf and started talking. You can fool anyone with that mask, but me you cannot. Good for you, Aburame. But tell me, just how did the Kumo shinobis manage to fool you, then? They used my teammates against me, said Shino, ashamed of the fact that the Anbu was right. I see. You've changed a lot since I last saw you, Wolf. No, Shino, you must be confusing me with one annoying blonde brat. Did only God in the way of things. Shino was taken aback by the Anbu's harsh comment. From quite a distance, Kurenai and Hinata were seeing their talk. So, Kurenai-sensei, this Anbu fellow is quite a guy, is he the one you were sad about? How can you tell, Hinata? By the look you gave him back at the house. I can't say for sure, but I sensed a somewhat familiar presence on him, Kurenai said, and Hinata laughed. What's so funny, Hinata? It's nothing. I just never thought that my sensei could fall in love with someone the same age as my own, said Hinata, leaving towards Kiba and leaving Kurenai's surprised look. After a while, Team 8 and the Anbus were returning from their mission, when Kurenai decided to talk to Kat. How are you, Kurenai-chan, feeling better? Hi, Kat, who is he? said Kurenai pointing to Black Wolf. Oh, he is Konoha's Black Wolf Anbu, the one who saved you guys. I'm sure you sense the genjutsu used back there, right? After a nod, Yugo continued. Well, he casted it, said Yugo, checking on Black Wolf's back, since he was leading the squadron. Answer me, who is he? I don't know myself. He is the only Anbu who doesn't take his mask off even inside Anbu headquarters. I've never seen his face, but I've seen his eyes and I can tell you he is strong. But I was wondering about something. What is it? When we were coming, he told me about his friendship with your team, and when I said your name, his killer intent was all around the place. Care to explain? Don't have a clue. My team knows a lot of people and he could be anyone. Kurenai was caught remembering Hinata's words and then looked at Black Wolf's hair. Kurenai, during the whole trip, was thinking about the mysterious Black Wolf Anbu and the fact that his presence made her tremble inside, since she sensed the same thing a while ago. After some hours traveling, Team 8 went home and Kurenai followed the Anbus to Tsunade's office. At Tsunade's office, Tsunade was looking at the window when the Anbus and Kurenai shunshined inside. How did go? Mission accomplished, Tsunade-sama. We disposed of the enemies and recovered every member of Team 8, reported Black Wolf. Congratulations, both of you, S-ranked mission accomplished. Kurenai, how about your mission? Here is the report, Tsunade-sama. Thanks. Now, care to explain how a team of trackers were captured? Hi, Tsunade-sama. The Kumo ninjas surrounded us and captured Kiba's Akamaru, so Kiba was captured, rendering everyone. I see. Be careful, Kurenai. Your team should thank Cat and Black Wolf for saving your. They are some of Anbu's elite. Hi, arigato, Cat and Black Wolf, for saving us. It's our job, Black Wolf said and vanished. Kurenai was speechless. She somehow knew that he was Naruto, but such coldness just didn't belong to him at all. So, Kurenai was sad again. She told her search ended and that she had found her blonde lover. Tsunade was also taken aback by Black Wolf's emotionless remark and turned to look at Kurenai, with some sort of pity. She reached Kurenai and told her about Black Wolf's history, hoping to give some pointers for Kurenai, indicating that Black Wolf was indeed Naruto. Don't be that way, Kurenai, Black Wolf was just as sad as you. How? Such coldness in his way of words, it's like he doesn't have blood in his veins. He lost someone very dear to his heart a while ago and he vowed to go mission after mission and training after training, in order to not let this feeling take over him. But I don't think he forgot. I believe that his feeling just rose and he was cold. Listen, Kurenai, do you want to talk to him? Yeah, I do. I want to thank him for saving me, but the bastard just shunshined out of here. Okay, then, this may be a secret, but tomorrow night he will guard the West Gate border, so you can meet him there. Thank you, Tsunade-sama. Dismissed. Both of you. At Kurenai's apartment, she arrived at her house and took off her clothes, in order to take a little shower. Her mind just couldn't stop thinking about the Black Wolf Anbu. It was something about him that resembled her Naruto, but she was remembering the phrase he used it and she has never seen anyone so cold before in her life. When she went to sleep, she remembering what Tsunade told about him and how he suffered, because he lost his loved one. Somehow, Kurenai thought that Tsunade was mentioning Naruto's history for her and it was she who broke his heart. Suddenly, the pain in her heart grew and she couldn't breathe anymore. She was trembling of fear just by thinking that she was somehow responsible for turning Naruto into a cold-hearted shinobi. Her mind was trying to compare Naruto and the black-masked Anbu, although she was confused, cause of the inner personalities of both of them. Sure, in appearance, they are similar, but inside they are two different persons. When 2 a.m. appeared on her alarm clock, Kurenai was caught thinking about him so much, she wasn't able to sleep. After some time, Kurenai's body overcome the mind and she was asleep, of course, dreaming about her beloved, blonde. Kurenai was in her apartment. It was daylight and she was just awakening when she looked through the windows. It was him, the black wolf masked Anbu standing on a roof near her house. Suddenly, they exchanged looks and he came over to her window asking like an extreme gentleman, "Did you get a good night's sleep, Kurenai-hime?" "I sure did, Anbu-san." Kurenai's outfit was rather provocative to say the least. After that, the black-masked Anbu entered the apartment, taking off his mask, showing her beloved Naruto with golden hairs shining even more because of the sun, and he gave her a sudden passionate kiss that made her tremble so much on the inside. After all, she enjoyed so much when he was dominating her. She could feel his strong arms and chest with lots of scars all over, signifying his experience as a warrior, as both of them was hugging tighter and kissing longer than ever before, showing their passion towards the other. When Naruto went to her neck, her breath stopped for a second and the hormones kicked in, making her moan a lot, because of it. If someone watched Kurenai sleeping, she was going from side to side, moaning Naruto's name, as if she was dreaming about what would be like if he just showed up, throw her to bed and just possess her. Unfortunately for Kurenai, someone was indeed watching and taking mental notes of her situation. Not one, but two of her best friends watched her moaning Naruto's name as if he was making love to her in such a way, that even her two friends became aroused at the way Kurenai was describing her dream, even though she was asleep. "Kurenai, wake up, said Anko. "What? Oh my god, what time it is? Relax, it's just 6:30 a.m., we wanted to have breakfast together, but according to what we heard, I think you want to be alone for some time," said Yugo, with a fox grin. "What are you talking about, Yugo? Oh my god, Naruto, continue, don't stop, please," something like that, teased Yugo. "I dreamed about him, it was wonderful. He was all over my body, kissing just every part of it in such a cool and hot way that I just couldn't help myself in." "We got the point, Kurenai, you don't need to tell us." Yugo was already sweating from her hormones. She knew one thing, though, she was definitely talking to Hayate tonight. "Yugo, in all my life, I've never been like this before, and I think you know who he is, since he is your coworker." "My co-work? Do you mean Black Wolf as Naruto? Konoha's most feared wolf, Black Wolf as Uzumaki Naruto, once being called a brat by Kakashi-senpai, that Naruto?" Yugo was speechless, but not surprised. Black Wolf was one of the strongest and most mysterious member of Anbu, but not once did she thought that he was the Kyuubi guy. "Wait, did you say, Black Wolf?" asked Anko, showing her fear to her friends. "Yeah, why, I got to know him. Everyone I know is afraid of him. Some say that he is a wolf disguised as human, because of the way his eyes look when he shows killer intent." "Is Black Wolf Naruto?" "I believe so." "Wait, does Anko, the one who isn't scared by anything in this world, is afraid of the Anbu?" giggled Yugo. "Did you ever see him, Yugo? If Kurenai is right, Black Wolf and I rescued Team 8 from the hands of Kumo last night. And to believe that Kakashi at first said that Naruto wouldn't ever be suited for ninja duty, I want to ask him now that he became one of Anbu's elite," said Kurenai. After Kurenai took a quick wake-up shower, the three took their breakfast together, but still talking about the mysterious member of Anbu, aka the Black Wolf. And to say that Yugo was surprised was his understatement. She was astonished, since she knew that Naruto left to train with one of the Sanin's Jiraiya and became a Chunin in Kumo. What was most surprising for her, it was the fact that one known, Ice Queen of Konoha, was falling in love with him. But Kurenai-chan, if Black Wolf is in fact this Naruto, what was that, "it's our job," thing that he told yesterday, like he didn't feel anything, said Yugo, almost pooching herself after receiving a kick from below the table from Anko and seeing the sudden look on Kurenai's face. "I heard him and I feel terrible for it. You see, we dated for some time. It was 3 years ago. Naruto had left with Jiraiya-sama for about 6 months and Tsunade-sama assigned me as well as 2 Chunins a mission towards Iwa border. When we arrived close to the border, 2 Iwa Anbus attacked us, knocking the 2 Chunins in an instant and dispelling the genjutsus I cast upon them, so I was surrounded and already fearing for the worst, to be either tortured to death or be raped. Then, from out of a sudden, a golden blur literally flew by, knocking both Anbus with a single kunai, striking the Anbu's neck. It was Naruto, but not the Naruto I came to know when he was a genin, a grown one, with a chunin vest and extremely handsome. Details, my friend. I know I heard this story before, but we'd like you to describe a little better about his appearance. Okay, then. After he saved me from the IWA Anbus, he lifted his head and looked directly at me with a slight grin that normally a person at his age wouldn't have because of his supposed lack of experience. When I looked at him, I was feeling as if his eyes had already owned me, in such a way. The sun was sending some light on his hair, and I at that time could have sworn that his hair was pure gold. Okay, then, what did he do after saved you? Tell us, Kurenai-chan, you're killing me. Asked Yugo. He looked at my eyes and said, are you okay, Kurenai-hime? Get out of here. I never get a hime of Hayate-kun. I'm a little jealous. Okay, continue. Since those Anbus's kunai pierced my shoulder, Naruto did some hand seals and his hands turned green with healing chakra. He gently put it on my shoulder, healing the wound. At first, I was amazed at the warmth of his hand, but then when I caught a glimpse at his eyes, that's when my heart pounded. His eyes was cerulean blue, clearer than the ocean water. I was speechless. After that, I managed to ask him why he helped me. Flashback on. Naruto healed Kurenai's wound like a perfect gentleman, caressing gently with his warm hands, and Tsunade started feeling something that she haven't felt before, love. But being the professional she was, she tuned to Kunoichi and started asking. Naruto, why did you save me? I was wondering about these woods, when I sensed someone in danger, then I managed to kill them and save you. As to why I saved you, I don't think I need a reason to. Baka. Those are IWA Anbus, you were foolish to confront them, like you did. You are just a genin, yet. Beside the fact that the way you sound it makes me want to kill myself, I'm no longer a genin, I'm a chunin. Sorry about that, but when were you promoted? After some new competition being held in Kumo, I managed to beat every genin I encountered, earning the title. They just sent the message to Tsunade-sama and she returned it with this chunin vest. Now come to think about it, Kurenai-san, you have beautiful eyes, they're like two shiny rubies, said Naruto, earning a blush from Kurenai. Naruto-kun, Kurenai was taken aback by Naruto's compliment, as well as more blushed by the kun added to his name, but she would be more blushed because of what Naruto would be about to say. Oh, just hold on a moment, Kurenai-chan, it seems your teammates needs rescue, as well, said Naruto, healing both of them. And, done, well, they are fine, but they need some rest, Kurenai-chan, follow me to a tent I have nearby, so we can treat them, said Naruto, earning a nod from Kurenai. So, tell me, Naruto-kun, you changed a lot, since I last met you, and I'll be honest, I didn't expect you to grow this much. Arigato. You know the thing is the one you meet before it wasn't the real me. As a matter of fact, I appeared to be annoying, smiling a lot, so people would forget about my situation, but my plan didn't work at all, since everyone thought of me as being Kyuubi, so I metaphorically took off my mask shortly after leaving Konoha. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring back sad memories. Don't worry about it, and for all I know those won't stop happening, said Naruto, showing Kurenai just how painful really is to carry such burden. But, why didn't you say this to anyone? I was afraid that those who didn't know, would know and start to hate me, for something I didn't do or even ask for it. Kurenai was taken aback. She never took the time to know him the way he is now, and a feeling rushed upon Kurenai, love, for the first time in her life, she knew what she had to do. She reached him and gave a profound hug on the blonde, making the intent rise between the two of them, resulting in a passionate kiss from both of them. After some intense fight between them in order for the kiss to be unforgettable, they broke it for a little bit of air and a moan out of their mouths were quite hearable. Oh my god, Naruto-kun, where did you learn to kiss like that? I don't know, Kurenai-chan, I just wanted to kiss you so badly, I just went for it. And let me tell you, if it's dream, I don't want to wake up. Me neither. With that, they gave another passionate kiss that lasted another 5 minutes. At this point, both their hormones were sky high and the only thought passed through their minds was making love with each other. So, Kurenai took off Naruto's blouse and was aroused by his puffed chest and his six-packs, so she started rubbing his chest with her tongue in her hand. Then, Naruto took her chin, raising her face up to his and stole another kiss, making Kurenai moan inside. After the kiss, Naruto started taking Kurenai's vest off, making her topless. With the help of his tongue and his warm hand, he started massaging her breaths, making Kurenai cry in pain for his name, while biting her lips a little bit. Oh, Naruto-kun, don't stop, keep going. Where do you want me, Kur-chan? Down here. As you wish, Kurenai-hime. When Naruto started licking Kurenai's private area, she just couldn't control her body anymore, since ecstasy took over. To say she was liking was an understatement, she was loving every second of it, up to the point that she grabbed his hair and pulled with such force, as well as squeeze her, showing that she was about to explode from such pleasure. Oh my god, Naruto-chan, I'm coming, screamed Kurenai. Do you like it, Kur-hime? Are you crazy? I loved it. Naruto, tell me, and if you say no, I'll kill you right here. What is it, my hime? Do you have protection with you? Yeah, I have, Jiraiya-sensei lent me some. Quote, oh my god, Naruto, I can't just wait, pick one and please take advantage of me, please. Hi. After Naruto put on his protection, Kurenai pushed him to the ground, sitting on top of Naruto's, making her scream out of pleasure. After some time of Kurenai going up and down his, Naruto, out of the blue, just threw her to the ground and stick it in with such force as to earn a huge moan from Kurenai. Nice move, Naru-kun, just take advantage of me and continue what you're doing, please, because it's so good. Suddenly, an extreme heat came for both of them, signifying that they were literally on fire, being extremely wet. Suddenly, Naruto felt a new sensation, indicating that he was about to come. Oh, Kurenai-chan, I'm coming. Oh, me too, please come inside, I beg you. But, don't worry about it, we're protected, I just want to feel your fill every space inside my. Oh, I can't hold any more, Kurenai-chan, I love you. I love you too, Naru-kun. Flashback off. And that's how we've met, said Kurenai to her friends, still remembering of her dream, as well as earning 2 glares of women panting because of their hormones being kicked in. Oh my god, I'm definitely seeing Hayate today, I can't hold this any longer, what's wrong with me, am I picturing Naruto and Kurenai having, oh my god, god this is killing me, Yugo's thought rushed through her mind like crazy. Yugo-chan, are you alright? You look like you're sweating over there, you're not picturing me and Naruto in your head, now are you, cause if you are, please stop it, it's very perverted, said Kurenai, for Yugo to just snap out of her little dream. Oh no, Kurenai-chan, I was just thinking about my boyfriend, that's all, hey, she lied, damn I have to control myself when I see Black Wolf, if I see him I'll start imagining him taking over Kurenai and just taking control of the situation, showing her who is dominating, oh my god, I'm sweating again. Kurenai-chan, I'm speechless. The way you told, I could imagine how big your love is for him, Yugo said, almost caressing her own body for an instant, much to the dismay of Kurenai, who just cursed herself from telling such story to 2 of the most perverted women in Konoha. Yeah, I wonder if I'll ever have that, again. So, tell me, how did you hurt him, Kurenai-chan? Asked Yugo, after receiving a kick from under the table by Anko. What? It's okay, Anko-chan, when I arrived at Konoha from my mission, I don't know why, but I suddenly had a feeling that it wouldn't be right to be with a guy half my age, so I decided to look for other one closer my age. When he returned from his trip, he saw me with Asuma and was crushed. And now, My heart is crushing me again, oh my god. Here you go, Kurenai, said Anko. I think he still loves you, Kurenai-chan. How do you know that? Cause of the way he acted. When I mentioned your name when you're captured, he wasn't worried about his friends, but he was with you, said Yugo, cheering Kurenai. I hope you're right. You will meet him, tonight, won't you? Hi. So, tell him just how you feel. Just come to him, as if you were still in your dream and tell him how you feel. Thank you, Yugo-chan and Ako-chan. I will. At 8, all the three of them went different ways and Kurenai was cheerful again, she would get together with her love.